Hi, welcome to Spanierman Modern on East 58th between Madison and Park, right across from the Four Seasons Hotel. We have a wonderful show here, the paintings of Dan Christensen, called the Plaid Paintings, which was a series that he made, and it's on view from October 13th to November 14th. And we're going to take a little tour around with you, and this is the wife of Dan Christensen. Her name is Elaine Grove.
Hi.
And let's just walk up to this painting right here.
Golden Stream is the name of this one.
Called Golden Stream, and it's painted in 1970. Now, Elaine, what do you know about this painting? Anything in particular, or?
Well, first of all, this whole series of paintings were painted right after Dan had done his spray paintings, the signature spray paintings, and it was a big departure for him at the time. And one of the reasons that he said that he started painting these was he wanted a way to get more paint on the canvas in a different way. He had already exhausted all the spray possibilities that...
Were the spray paintings the loop paintings?
Yes, yes, they were
So
free-form,
these are
they were
solid
loops, they were...
blocks of color instead of floating loops of color on canvas.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Quite a different idea. But what I get out of these, what I feel from these is the sense of great mystery, and it's like Stonehenge or something of that order, where I feel behind each color panel there's something behind it, something waiting, something very strange and interesting. And I get it in almost all of them. I mean, I love this kind of brilliant yellow that's like sun, and it comes up beyond that purple right there again and flashes into that brownish color. I mean, you just want to go into it and peel away the squares to see what's there.
I love to hear you say that. There's a certain gravitas, I think, about these paintings, as opposed to the sort of light, vibrant paintings that preceded. It was also very courageous in a way, I think, of Dan. I mean, just before these, he was this sort of boy wonder, mid-20s, already in museum shows, the Whitneys, the purchases from, major museums, and this was a big departure, and he could have stuck with what he was doing, but he just had to explore what else was out there.
Well, it's a wonderful painting. I think we should go to the next one.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Are we
over here?
Over here? Okay.
Here. You've got to come around.
Night Delight.
This is called Night Delight, painted in 1969, and it's got a wonderful array of orangey, beigey, red colors with that big green square on top.
And the different surface concerned. I mean,
there's all different surfaces.
Right here you've got part of it is acrylic paint in the stained fashion at the time.
And what's that paint is that?
That is the enamel paints. They're an oil-based paint, but they were like sign painters, enamel paints, and he liked the different textures, the different surface qualities.
This is an enormous switch from the loop paintings. It's enormous. It's a huge jump.
Bigly. That's true. That's true. Dan did this a few times in his career. This one is Water Fence.
Water Fence. Now, Water Fence bears a certain relationship to East Hampton.
That's true. That's true. Dan was a big fisherman,
the studio was out in East Hampton, I must tell you.
And he and actually Larry Zox was an old friend of his, another painter from the time period, and they used to go fishing all the time in the summertime. And Water Fence is a local fisherman's term for a particular series of cliffs that, when you look at them from East Hampton looking over to Napeague, it looks like a white fence, and it's a marker, and the local term was Water Fence, and Dan always thought that was a great word.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, let's go to the next one.
All right.
This is called Blue Flame, 1971, and there's the blue flame, and it looks like a flame you see on your stove, a gas-lit flame with the red and the blue coming through it.
Yeah,
except he's magnified it.
It's true.
Those giant's eyes.
A lot of the times the titles don't have anything to do with what they represent, but I'm sure there was probably some.
This one seems to have.
Be literal there.
Yeah.
I like the change in the color palette here as well. It's very vibrant and
wonderful
alive.
Streak of yellow up there.
Yep.
By the flame at the top.
Yeah, all of those little,
We should go to the next picture.
the drops. Okay.
This is untitled, 1970. And again, we have these wonderful uneven lines here, and this yellow line that shoots across, stops, gets covered up, and then comes out in a different place altogether. It always throws you a little off, and it's always a surprise.
Yeah, deceptively simple painting
But
as
still
well.
surprises you.
Yeah.
Because the tendency is to make a straight line, and he doesn't. Or my
Yeah.
tendency is to make a straight line, and he doesn't.
Or have a flat area of color, and there's all these variations. This one is beige.
This is Bays, 1969. And just a joyful painting with all these huge broad bands of color running through it and around it and across it.
Yeah, these were, Dan used to call them the squeegee paintings rather than the plaids.
Is that how he made them?
Yes, he'd take a squeegee and pull the paint
What kind of a
across.
squeegee? Like one on a car?
Similar, different kinds of squeegees were used. Some of the times, just the regular silk screening squeegees you pull with a wooden handle. Some of the times he would adapt it, the industrial kinds, so it's like you're pushing with a broom. These were painted on the floor, and some of them are rollers, like paint rollers that he would.
Now, did
Roll
he
out.
use new paints that just came out on the market?
Well, these particular ones are the acrylic paints, and there's a little bit of the enamel as well. I think the new paint developments that we were talking about earlier were the mediums that weren't used on this particular series of paintings, but the ones just following this one, where he would paint over them and then scrape through.
What was that called?
Those were the slab paintings,
slab
is what he called them, and they would, have color that then he'd do thick medium that extends pigment, and then you'd like scrape through and see what's underneath it.
Let's go and see this big picture. I think we have to walk this way.
Right, we'll figure out how to do this. Land's End.
Now, this is late for the series. It's 1971. It's called Land's End. It looks to me as if he's working out of the series almost here. Because somehow it's huger spaces.
Yeah, not as many stacked blocks. And within each area, there's so much variation.
Does it refer to any
see.
particular place?
My only thought would be that, the center horizontal line looks like a horizon line.
Well, I just wondered,
and then that would be the end of the land right there.
It's got a very beautiful sort of pinky color running through here like a horizon line. As if it were islands or something, and this was the sea, perhaps.
Looks like we're looking over to Napeague from Barnes Hole Beach.
Well, I think that's what we're going to see for the exhibition now. There are other paintings in the exhibition. There's a whole room full of them we didn't talk about, and another one in the window, but certainly come and see this wonderful show. Elaine, say something.
Please come see the show. It's wonderful. I would love to have you experience this particular time period of my husband's work, and it hasn't been shown for many years.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
See you again soon.
Bye.